everyone. My name's Joe Ovsenek, President and CEO of Tudor Gold Corp. Thanks for joining in to hear about Tudor Gold and our Treaty Creek project. I will be making forward-looking statements throughout this presentation. At Tudor Gold, we have one of the largest gold discoveries in recent times at our Treaty Creek project. Indicated gold, or almost 25 million ounces of gold. On the inferred category, 4 million ounces of gold. That makes it one of the biggest gold discoveries you'll find out there in the last, say, 30 years. Now, what really gets us excited at Tudor Gold is not only do we have this large bulk tonnage gold resource, but within that resource, we actually have some higher grade mineralization in that 2 to 3 to 4 gram range. And that's what we feel is what really sets our Treaty Creek project apart from a lot of the other big gold resource discoveries of the last while. And that higher grade mineralization is what we can use to accelerate and move Treaty Creek into production quicker than, say, another lower grade opportunity. So that's our focus at Tudor Gold. So if you're not familiar with Tudor Gold, our Treaty Creek project is located in the Golden Triangle. That's up in northwest British Columbia. We're just to the east of the Alaska Panhandle. We're roughly 70 kilometers north of the town of Stewart, and that's a deep water port with concentrate shipping facilities. So we're quite close to that, probably about 250 kilometers by road. So not a big distance. We can ship our concentrate that we produce down to Stewart, put it on a ship, and once it's on a ship, it can go anywhere pretty cheap. We own an 80% interest in the project. Our partner there is Tudor Resources, and we've got a very supportive government in British Columbia that really wants mining to be a part of the future of BC. Now, if we zoom in on our claims, here you can see our claim package. That's that sort of gold shaded, like brown shaded outline there. Those are our mineral claims. Goldstorm deposit, that's dark blue shaded area. That is where our resource is. So within the Treaty Creek project, we have the Goldstorm deposit, and that's where that 24.9 million ounces of indicated gold with lots of copper and silver sits. Infrastructure-wise, as far as the Golden Triangle goes, we're in pretty good shape, actually great shape. We're about 40 kilometers from paved highway that runs up to Alaska. That you can see that solid line on the right-hand side of the screen. And then that dotted line on the right-hand side of the screen is the Northwest Transmission Line. So we're roughly 40 kilometers by road from power and access, which, you know, for the Golden Triangle is excellent. If you take a look at the Bruce Jack mine, which is just down to the south of the Goldstorm deposit, you can see there's a solid line coming into us. That was a mine our team discovered and built. And if you take a look at that, that's a 75 kilometer road, 12 kilometers over a glacier. The transmission line, 57 kilometers, all supported by helicopter. When we look at our project, 40 kilometers by road, no glaciers to cross. I tell you, that's a big one, and it really does help you keep your costs down. And we can build our transmission line right alongside the road, and that is a big cost saving. The more you can reduce helicopter time, the more you're saving money, because they're very expensive to operate. So great infrastructure and well situated within the Golden Triangle. We consider our Treaty Creek project the gateway to the gold copper district in the Golden Triangle. If you're familiar with Seabridge Gold, they have their KSM project. There, if you look at the map up on the screen, you can see their 5 deposits to the south west of our claim package. They have 5 big deposits. None of them as high grade as our Goldstorm deposit, but comparable in scale. And then their mill facility is up to the northeast. That's that dark shaded area to the northeast of our claim package. That's right on the border of our claims. So we consider ourselves a gateway because any way to access the Seabridge gold copper deposits, you have to access our Goldstorm deposit, big gold copper deposit, great grade. So we really feel that we are the gateway to this whole region. And I think personally hold the key to making coming up with economic production in the area. Taking a look at our resource, we've simplified things with our resource update. This just came out about 3 weeks ago, the updated resource. Which, rather than having multiple zones, we've gone with the upper zone, the central zone, and the lower zone. Upper zone in red, central zone coppery color, and lower zone in a goldy yellow. The center zone is gold copper because is coppery colored because that's where we have our gold copper. Predominantly that's where our copper is, while the upper and lower zones are predominantly gold. So this is where we have your 24.9 million ounces of gold at 0.85 grams per ton, and another 4 million ounces of inferred gold at 1.43 grams per ton. Plus, as I say, well over 3 billion pounds of copper, a couple 100 million ounces of silver almost. So a real sizable deposit and one of the big discoveries, as I say, of recent times. Now, when we did our resource estimate, our bulk tonnage resource estimate, we used a $50 NSR cutoff. And what we mean by that is we looked at all the different blocks that make up that resource estimate. They're all, the deposits broken down into blocks. And we looked at each block, and in order for it to make it in the resource estimate, the bulk tonnage resource, it had to have a value of $50. Now, we look at we raised the cutoff and took a look at, okay, it's fine that we have this bulk tonnage resource, but to get into production quicker, we feel a smaller, higher grade underground mine, small footprint, is really the way to move forward quickly up in the Golden Triangle. Get out of the weather, a lot of snow up there. Last time we worked up there is 22 meters. So you don't want to be shoveling snow constantly any more than you have to, at least. So get underground and work underground. It really helps things move quickly. We did $125 ton per ton cutoff and $175 per ton cutoff. So, and as I mentioned, what we mean by that is each block that makes up the resources either has to be above $125 or above $175. So if we look at the $125 cutoff, we're looking at 8.4 million ounces. That's combined, indicated, and inferred. And, pretty dang good grade, and, in the probably about 2.5 grams of gold per ton, somewhere in that range. We look at the US $175 per ton, where, 3.4 in the indicated, 2.4 in the inferred. So 5.8 million ounces of gold above that 175 cutoff. Average grade is going to be, 2.8, 2.5, somewhere in that range. And so, nice potential, and that's going to be our focus for an underground mine. Can we outline enough gold in that, say, 3 grams per ton gold to come up with a nice starter mine producing 300,000 ounces of gold a year? So here you can see these are some visuals, give you a feel for the cutoff. So on the left-hand side of the screen, that's the $50 cutoff. And you can see that's the full 24.9 million ounces indicated, 4 million inferred, nice and filled out. As we raise the cutoff to $125 per ton, you can see a lot of the blocks that form these resources in here on the left have fallen away, and we've got it skinnied down, but there's still some really nice solid shapes in here that we can mine. And then at $175 per ton, which is on the far right, even more so. We've got some nice blocks, really solid blocks hanging together, and then you have some scattered bits of mineralization. We're not going to be mining these scattered blocks, but there's nice big blocks of mineralization here that we can come in and put a mine plan around. One of the other things we're doing in order to really get a feel for how best to mine underground is, look, we got to get underground. So we're in the process of permitting an underground exploration ramp. So in the lower left is a plan view of the property. This is that Goldstorm deposit where all our resources are. We just showed you some schematics of it. Here's our planned ramp to get down there. And here you can see the upper zone, the central zone, the lower zone. And the idea is come in underground and drill. because we need to drill tighter drilling for mining the underground mine here. We're not going to be bulk tonnage mining. So let's get underground, get out of the weather so we can drill all year round. Right now, we're limited to 4 or 5 months a year on surface drilling. So get underground, drill all year round, get the infill drilling done. And while we're doing that, move forward with some engineering so that we can, get some nice economic studies and, okay, how best are we going to mine this and at what rates? Metallurgy, we've done a fair bit of metallurgy already on various parts of the deposit. We have additional metallurgy going on right now. The idea is let's get that metallurgy finished this quarter. So the target is to have the metallurgy wrapped up by the end of March 2026. It may drag a bit into April, but as of now, it looks like we're on schedule for the end of March. And that will look at metallurgy for each of the upper, central, and lower zones so that we can take that metallurgy, put it with a mine plan. We're working on a mine plan on how best to mine each one of those, say around the $175 cutoff, each one of those blobs you saw on the screen in those shapes. So we got the mine plan going on. The target is to get that done by the end of March. Metallurgy is going on. Target is to get that done by the end of March. Put the two together, and if it looks good, let's push ahead with a preliminary economic assessment with a plan of getting that completed by sometime this summer. Now, as I'm jumping the gun a bit here, but these are the opportunities for production at Treaty Creek. If we look at the very bottom, that's your bulk tonnage mining scenario where we come in and mine the full 24.9 million ounces of indicated, 4 million ounces inferred. Now that's a big mine. And to mine that, you're mining 150,000, 175,000 tons a day, probably about a 10 billion capex, maybe a bit less than that. But, it's a big mine. And that's not something that we're going to be able to push through on our own. You'd need a major to come in and really make that happen. We don't like sitting around waiting for somebody else to come along and make things happen. So what we're focused on, as I mentioned, is this higher grade underground mine, say targeting that 3 gram or better material to start with, and come up with, say, 8 to 10,000 ton per day underground mine, capex $1 billion and a half. Geez, that's something we can handle. We can build that mine. We don't need help from anyone else, and that's something we can push ahead to production. So we're going to focus on moving that ahead, and that's what when I talk about targeting a PEA for sometime this summer, that's what it'll be focused on. That sort of 10,000 ton per day underground mine, billion and a half capex, something in there that we can really sink our teeth into and move forward. And then there's the potential for an even higher undergrade mine in that 8 to 10 grams with the SC1 zone. We have some of that SC1 zone in our resource estimate. However, we need to get underground and do more drilling. It's down 600 to 900 meters below the surface, depending on what part of it. And so part of the underground is get down, infill on that, and we may find that, hell, we've got a mine that we can mine at 8 to 10 grams a ton for the first year, 10, who knows, maybe 10 years. Get that up and running, get all the infrastructure paid for, get the capital cost all completely taken care of, and then look to bring in that 3 gram material. And then once that's mined, then we drop the cutoff and we keep dropping the cutoff and bring in more and more until we're mining all of that 24.9 million ounces. So lots of options here for going forward and developing the mine at Treaty Creek. And that's the beauty of having some grade. If Treaty Creek and the Goldstone deposit was just your typical big bulk tonnage deposit, you would only have the bottom scenario where, hell, we got to wait for somebody to come in and help us out build a mine because it's going to be $10 billion and 150,000 tons a day. So that was development. Now, just because we have this big resource, we're not standing still. There's lots of potential on our property for another big world-class deposit. 3 zones that we have indications of already. You can see the CBS, the Eureka, and the Perfect Storm. We're going to come back this summer. We have about a $15 million budget set out this summer. Purely, that's going to be allocated for checking out the other zones, potential zones on the property, and developing a resource. Target's going to be, you got to set targets. So our initial target is to come up with another deposit as an initial resource, say 5 million ounces of gold with blue sky to move up. But that's the plan for this summer. Don't want to stand still with just the Goldstorm deposit. We're going into engineering on that. And so while we're in engineering on that, let's keep going hard, find another deposit, 2, maybe 3 on the property. Lots of potential for more of these big world-class gold copper deposits. Company strategy. Our strategy is focus on the high grade. I've been hammering on that. We're going to keep doing that. Get underground so we're out of the weather and so we can infill on the high grade mineralization. Early on, I mentioned that we had 80% interest in the project. We had like 100% interest in the project. We are talking with our joint venture partner. We'll see if we can come to an agreement where we're all on the same page and it works for everybody. I'd like to say, yeah, let's move from 80% up to 100%, and because that's where I believe the sum of the parts is worth more, quite a bit more than just the parts. And then we're pushing on this PEA. I'd like to have a PEA out this summer, so we'll do our best to push ahead on that. Checking the boxes. So far for this year, we've got the updated resource estimate. We've got more boxes to check, and we're going to push hard so we can check all of these boxes through the course of this year. As I mentioned early on, BC, very focused on mining and believing that's a path for the future for the province, truly making it a tier 1 mining jurisdiction. And we have good support from the local First Nations up in the area where we're in. The First Nations, very commercial. They want to know, yeah, you're going to do things right, but you know, if it contributes to their economy and the wealth of their nation, they're all in. But just make sure you do the work right. This is our team. We've got 5 of us all work together. First at Silver Standard and then at Pretium Resources. Chris is our VPIR over at Tudor Gold. He was not with us. Everybody else has worked together in the past, and we know what it takes to move a project from discovery through to production in short order. Capital structure, roughly 400 and change million shares outstanding. Eric Sprott, everybody knows Eric Sprott, the big investor in these gold projects, a big gold bull. Owns 14% of the company and has participated in our last few financings. So a believer in the project and a believer in gold. So that's the company. Coverage by Roth Capital, Mike over at Roth Capital, and Stuart over at Research Capital. That sums up Tudor Gold. Happy to answer any questions. My email address, joe.ovsenek@tudorgoldcorp.com. And happy to answer any questions, or if you by email, or if you want to call, just send me an email. We can set up a call. Happy to talk and talk more about Tudor Gold and the great potential we have at Treaty Creek. So that's Tudor Gold. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.